Greetings, greetings, sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. This is Body Culinary, and coming to you live before I head out into the garden. So, I wanted to touch in today as I'm moving about because I'm an early riser, and I was just reflecting on one of the most overlooked ways to grow your hair consistently and healthy, as well as to clear up your skin. So, as a plethora, there's no end to the amounts of products. There's so many products that folks are selling to us that'll make you dizzy. So, hold on. I broke mine on my wine glasses, so now I'm using this. I got glasses galore. So, this is about 20 ounces of nice, warm, hot water. Hey, that's your first clue. So, I wanted to talk about what is everybody's talking about how to grow hair fast. This product, wild growth oil, emu oil, which is actually coming from a bird, from an emu bird. And actually, there's someone that spams the page or spams my channel and puts in look up, research fast growth hair shampoo or whatever. So spamming, I guess, they go into different groups where folks are aware that people are looking or concerned about their hair, and they go to push their products. So they spam my page a lot with fast growth shampoo. The first time I saw it, I typed, why? What's your experience with this shampoo and why? And so if someone was paying attention, they might be aware that I'm the person that threw away my shower caddy years ago because I felt like I was a slave to products. So I'm not, in case you haven't noticed, I'm not interested in a whole bunch of products. But that being said, we got folks laying on the edge of the bed, massaging their hair. Like, actually, I found, I think, and I've observed that a lot of the natural hair community, in the effort to grow our hair, a healthy sense of vanity, it's actually opened a lot of women to eating more fresh fruits and vegetables and exercising. So that's incentive. There's a reward. So, hey, by hook or crook. However, I think there is a very something that is really overlooked in terms of growing hair and skin. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Body Culinary, chef, trainer, mom, natural born woman. And on this channel, I share my journey of radical self-acceptance of the unique Afrocoid features that I popped out onto this 3D plane with as a human. This is my expression. I also share encouragement to start a garden, to start or reactivate a personal movement practice right from the comfort of the place where you pay rent or mortgage or lease. And also, I like to encourage peaceful consumption. And that is a consumption pattern based around foods that are very peaceful to your arteries, to your brain, to your reproductive organs, to your skin, and to your mood. So if we apply principles, at least that's what I found, I find it's easier for us to make effective, sustainable decisions that are in alignment with that, if that's a core value. So I love principles because they're a shortcut and we don't have to get so caught up in following people and personalities, right? You can take what resonates, do whatever your experimentation is, taking 110% responsibility for your health, and just running with it from there, right? See what works for you. Take the best and leave the rest. So that's what I encourage on this channel. So start your garden, get your movement practice on, and peaceful consumption, as well as taking time to relax and listen to your hair, right? And some of the things kind of not popular, your organs, right? Your organs, your heart, everything is communicating through your skin, right? The organs, if they're secreting hormones enough or too little, they're communicating all the time. Your body, your mood, your hair, your nails, there is a literal communication all the time. There's even a communication with all of these different plants. And this plant is looking a little bit better over here. I've had to move it around. This one wasn't doing that great. So the plant is communicating whether it has too much water, too little water, if it needs to be moved. We're just like the plant. So peaceful consumption, a little bit of what that looks like over here. Simple stuff. People make it so complicated. Traditional food, right? The ways of the mothers and the grandmothers. This is something that's sustainable. This actually can be eaten living, right? Or sprouted, lots of protein, super inexpensive, sustainable. For those folks that are eating it cooked or lightly cooked, you can do that too. So this is just stuff around the house. Apples, not local to this region, but just a treat. You've got pears. You've got, so when I'm talking peaceful consumption, we've got lentils. You've got garlic. You've got sweet potatoes. We've got squash. Keep in mind, butternut squash. Keep in mind, all of these things actually can be eaten and consumed whole and living. I can extract as much of the nutrients as I want out of them, and then I can do something with the pulp, and I can also take whatever's left from that and put it out in the compost. I've got local peppers. All of this can be eaten living. I've got carambola, or star fruit. I've got some ants coming in here from outside too, coming on my tomatoes. Or they come in for my ginger. I've even got some old ginger, and some of the things, sometimes when things get a little older, I'll take the seeds out and I'll put them right out in the garden. So peaceful consumption. It's like it's cyclical, and your body is running in cycles from your sleep to your elimination to your sweat. So if we can slow down and relax, there's a lot of information there. So there's some key top things. I'm just going to give it to you now. I'll give it to you right away. One of the most overlooked things I have observed in your hair growing faster, we all have access to, believe it or not. And as a woman in my state, the elder women say in my family, I can show you better than I can tell you. Now, if I play this, I don't want my YouTube to get shut down. But I'm in here dancing around. So some people may not realize I'm an early riser. I'm a person that usually has been in professions that usually I have to be at the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning, or in personal training, I'll have a client at 4:30 in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. Before this, I usually have my food done, movement practice done. This has been my lifestyle for many years. Plus, I want to see the sun come up. So some people, my clients may be aware, I usually have a dance party. Yes, a dance party by myself. I try not to wake up, family members. I usually have a dance party by myself in the early morning. Sometimes it takes a few minutes. When I tell you it can neutralize stinking thinking, it can totally neutralize stinking thinking and catapult and shift your whole trajectory. Especially if you look around and you see like, okay, I want to go to the gym, or I need to, move my body. But immediately, all of these different excuses, right? Rumination, obsessing without doing anything about. That's a thing. Obsessing. For example, you could be laying in the bed, looking at the ceiling, spend 15, 20 minutes, half an hour looking at the ceiling when you could have gotten a vigorous, joyous movement practice on. So rumination. So I would usually set it up, right? So that I am enticed and excited by the color of my glass or cute glass, my little outfits, my little shorts, workout sets, being ready to like sometimes roll on the floor and right into a movement practice by having my movement mat laid out. These are rituals. These are things that you have access to. I've observed our mind is so heavily programmed, this computer, right? The hardware is so programmed by the software that we could be potentially wasting years worth of time in front of the screens, or high-fiving and trauma bonding with other individuals and not really maximizing our time. So the most overlooked way, this is my little formula, take it if it resonates, fine, is joy, right? And that's what my dance party is for me. It's joy. Second is water. Water. I have so many glasses and containers, beautiful wine glasses, goblets. I love mason jars. I also love the ones, I'm a bit of a scientist, a food scientist. So I know that this one has at least 20 ounces. So once I know I have some numbers to measure, and I love accountability tools, then I know first thing in the morning, I might have a couple of these glasses. Some of them I have with little sleeves on them because I will put hot water in there so I don't burn my hand. So I know during a workout, I may knock out 1 to 2 of these. One as soon as I get up in the morning, another one during the course of my workout, and sometimes another one after. Then I'll have tea. Then I have like my little cucumber drinks. I may be making a cucumber spritz with rosemary or thyme from the garden for my hair. And then half of that I'll take and I'll drink it. So these things are habits, they're rituals, they're lifestyle. I don't really have to think about them because I place things strategically around my home. On my way to the bathroom, if that really pretty glass is there in the morning, I'm most likely out of laziness going to drink from it, right? So it's water, it's joy, right? And the joy is activated. It's not just intellectual. We're in a time where everything is Google and intellectual. Experience trumps intellect. Go with me here. Invite you to try this on for size. Many people are waiting for years for motivation. And I could tell you, fact, even with myself and with clients, even if you have stinking thinking, if you make it to the gym with your trainer or to the workout, right, and you drag yourself there mentally, when you're done, did your body change in one workout to all your, no. But I guarantee you, with each coat of paint, each time you show up for a movement practice, which to me is a spiritual practice, right? Releasing a whole lot of pent up stress and a whole lot of clogged up thoughts, you will feel so much better because it's this. Chemically, you're getting a chemical shot of drugs that does not aid you. Actually, it has a reverse effect. And it is also making you feel better. It is a release. So the motivation comes after. After that motivation from, I'm going to buy a new outfit. I'm going to get a heart rate monitor. I'm going to get a trainer. Most of the time, it's momentary enthusiasm and it wears off. So when a stressor hits you, when somebody calls with some bad news, or you're stressed out about your children, or you're arguing with your partner, you can lose it like that. And the climate that we're in today, there's like a pool floating around on social media. Most of it, or what stands up at the top, is usually not the positive. It's usually not the things that are making you feel good. When I was a young girl, I was like, how come they don't have a good news channel? How come? And it's just somehow society seems like we have, it's like with all the spring reality shows, it's almost like we have an enticement and an addiction to drama and negativity, which is crazy. Somehow it's like it's triggering primal fears, right? It's triggering fears. And so our focus and attention gets on it. But at the same time, when I'm chilling with my friends, some of them don't know they're my friends and my coaches, and the coaches that I've paid for. Shout out to my capoeira teacher, wherever she is in the universe, and the rest of my coaches. I feel like beyond $1 million. I feel fantastic. I feel motivated when I get into an action, usually an immediate action around something I say is important to me. Movement. If you're waiting for it to be perfect, no, late. One of the things that you have access to is to put some music on and to dance. So at the risk, there's certain particular types of music. I'm very picky because I'm very aware of the lyrics. So I'm not really feeling somebody talking about being misogynistic or abusive to my psyche or to my womb or my body parts. That doesn't, degrading women, even degrading men, that doesn't do it for me. Like, I'm just very aware. I know a lot of beats are hypnotic, but too much, because that's a mantra, that's programming going in, right? So if it's affecting my esteem, that's no bueno. However, there's certain kind of music that's guaranteed, and one of them, I'm a big music lover over here. One of them is soca, my fada Bijan. So shout out to Brooklyn, Barbados, Belize. Then my son's dad is Jamaican. Then I love Trinidadian music. Then I love Afrobeat, anything with a drum. I love Fela Akulako, like Afrobeat. Anything like that will get you going. Then I'm a house music. I'm house head, club music, R&B classics. But there is certain music. So if we think of tones and vibrations, there's certain things that get you moving. If you pay attention to your facial expression, right? Like, I was just in here having a dance party, as you may know. And I was dancing to some styling or whatever. Like, I'm just thinking about being on a road march. We live right by Eastern Parkway, right? So that's usually where the West Indian Day parade is. And so many years I would say I'm not going because folks get drunk and start acting a fool. But the music is hypnotic. Come on, I'm not just going to, music is hypnotic. And we are deeply affected. Folks start acting like a fool depending on the lyrics and the pitch and the tone. So sometimes I wonder, like, why we don't get it. Not just that it's enjoyment. There's a reason why music is so powerful. Some people are really attuned to the megahertz or the tone or the vibration. It's been said Their different tones affect us differently, affect the molecular structure of water. If it's rock music, if it's heavy metal, the tones, some tones can feel very grating on your spirit. There are some ambient sounds that I listen to that you can find really ambient music on YouTube or on SoundCloud. Also nature sounds if you have issues sleeping. So joy, do you aware of what I'm not exaggerating. Are you aware of what you watch, right? If you have some mirrors nearby. Are there ants coming in here? Next to my fruit? Coming right through the door. Oh, let me have to get them with some citrus. Non-toxic, y'all. Y'all got to get out of here, honey. We can't have y'all up in here. No bueno. And when you live in a real tropical environment, that comes with the territory. But we can't have no toxics around here. So, what was I saying? There's certain music and lyrics that can immediately catapult you. And I would have to say, it's such an efficient use of your time. People are overlooking joy. Do you notice what makes you start smiling? It's different from, there's a, what's that tone, the comment I see online, right? A lot from different groups. So it's like a mob-like mentality of anonymous people online, because people can act out like whatever and say whatever, totally uninhibited because they're not in front of your face, like in a mob-like fashion. Like you hear the terms finisher, getter, you know, it's very mob-like. It's very interesting that this is encouraged on social media. However, do you notice what brings a smile to your face? Now, although I'm not a religious person, I can totally get, I'm into the principle more than the people. Why gospel music, the tone, people singing together harmoniously. It's a formula, right? If you're not aware of the formula, anybody can manipulate a formula, but there's a reason why it makes people feel a certain kind of way. It's tapping into certain emotions. It's got people crying, begging, pleading for relief, hopeful. I could also tap into certain kinds of fears, right? But music is very powerful. So I'm going to use as an example today, soca. Soca in particular. When I think of soca, steel pan, congas, even the horns, right? So I came up, my dad is from Barbados, so I came up on the Mighty Sparrow. I can't even think of all the artists, but my parents used to have parties, right? And I have very fond memories of watching my dad and my mom. Hopefully people are still having some kind of memories like that. I don't know now. But I remember my dad and my mom having parties, and they had like their little dance move. And so my dad would be dancing with my mom, and he would have his hand on the small of her back, right? And they, you know, they had the other friends, you know, they had their little drinks. They had rice and peas and stewed chicken and all this other stuff. But that's such a fun memory. So as little children, we're looking through the back, you know, either we're in a room with the coats, or we're peeking around, you know, because sometimes it starts off as a children's party, somebody's birthday, and then it turns into an adult party, right? Y'all go sleep in a room with the coats or find something else to do. But I remember, you know, them going around in a circle, and like my dad might have his leg just a little bit towards, you know, the middle of my mother's, you know, her legs. You know, it's just a little something as they're going around, you know, in a circle. And it's such a fond memory. And I think today, with all of these quote unquote gender wars and people that haven't been seen or haven't been acknowledged or haven't had positive, because many of us haven't had positive parenting experiences. I'll be honest, I think many of us are bitter because we didn't get it. So it causes us to act out, and everybody wants to feel a sense of belonging, right? So all of these thoughts have us chasing to find different groups, and also to create family, you know, for ourselves, right? If you don't have siblings, or if you're not connected to your family, that's so human. It's so primal. People want to feel a part of something. People want to feel seen, heard, validated, seen for the different gifts and expression. You know, it just is what it is. So the joy part, something that you can experience on your own that's not dependent on other people. Because all the stuff we come out with, a lot of times we wind up projecting it onto our partners, you know, our lovers, our significant others, or even our children. So you know, it may sound corny. I don't care. I actually really, I love experiencing joy. Now, sometimes that's love and expressing love. I wouldn't even call it happiness. I think there's a distinction. Happiness can be kind of fleeting, but joy, Oh my gosh, I experienced joy in dance, definitely in dance, in creative expression, even in singing. I wouldn't consider myself a singer by any means, but sometimes when you're belting a song out at the top of your lungs, do you not think that affects your circulation? Do you not think that your mood affects the way that you're secreting hormones, depression? Like, I know neurotransmitters, we have nociceptors, all different types of mechanoreceptors. There's so many different chemical responses that are happening, but many of us are not taking into consideration. Constantly being stressed out on the computer is affecting your hair growth. It's affecting your gut biome, your ability to have healthy functioning bacteria. If you're in fight or flight all the time, it's totally affecting your hormone production, your ability to sleep. This stress is affecting your hair. So I might have to shunt all of my blood and my focus towards my midsection, right? Or towards my limbs, so I be in fight or flight. So that's scrambling the whole system. So here's an example. I might only be able to put it on for a couple of seconds, but this is what I would just party into. So I highly recommend you folks, if you don't know about soca, y'all got to get y'all some soca. So I want you to tell me how you feel listening to this music. So I'm not ashamed. I'm not thinking about looking like a fool or nothing. If y'all ain't experiencing joy, that's on y'all. So your whole thing is, if you're in the kitchen, you got to get a rag. So I don't know if you ever been to Carnival. So joy and water. Buy a rag. Put the rag in your pocket. Get your flag. Find a band. Get a good position. When they say rag. Wave it. Wave it. Wave it. Wave it. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. When they say wine. Roll your waist. You need an excuse to roll your waist, honey. Roll it. Roll it. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Jump up, jump up. So, mood shifter. You cannot be depressed while you're listening to soca. I dare you. Impossible. There is no way that you can be stressed out, depressed, and down while you're listening to soca. So if you're listening to sad breakup songs, while Love Mary, Love Phyllis Hyman, their music is so powerful, it will take you away. Listen, you'll be all sweaty without having to bang up your knees, pay for a gym membership. You could start right there. Get you some soca. If you want, I'll share my playlist. Because for years, when I have gone to gym, working in all kinds of gyms for years and high-end gyms, people will usually ask me, what are you dancing to? Because I am unapologetic about having a party by myself. And I've got all kinds of cute water bottles, right? People be making this stuff complicated. Oh, well, but you have access. Get you some cute headphones, honey, and while everybody's stressed out, I'm telling you, up early, by the time it gets to a certain at 6 o'clock, movement practice done, space is clean, food prepared, and cute spill-proof containers. I'm giving y'all the gems. I'm giving you you tell people, but we think it has to be much more complicated than it is. And it's not as complicated as we're making it. Joy is the most overlooked nutrient.
I wanted to sing a soca song, and I wanted to sing like my inspiration. I wrote the song, put it on the radio. Copyrights want me, and Sean a big, big man. I want to the shadow, but a friendly break me and somebody hold that man. Hold that man.
All right. So joy. Okay. Recommendation. I'm telling you my little formula. This is my little humble formula. I don't have to use it. Get you a monkey. Get you a little monkey. Somebody made this around these parts, right? Somebody, I was like, it's so cute. Something that every time you put your eyes on it, it's so cute. It just makes you smile. So this is my mascot. This is Banana, y'all. I've been known to have mascots. So I'll put Banana near the computer, or I'll put Banana lives sometimes on a juicer up there where I can see it next to one of the plants, because every time my eyes go to it, it brings a smile to my face. Literally. Plants bring a smile, but definitely things that make you laugh or smile. You can't be angry. There's something that happens literally where your mind or the trajectory of your mind changes channel. I'm already like my circulation is moving. I'm up. I got the nutrition I'm eating is flowing to my skin. A lot of us are very, very stagnant. Are we fussing and fighting with our partners? We're sometimes putting too much pressure on our family members and our partners. So you're responsible for your own joy. So again, the nutrient that we have access to is joy. And I think it's so interesting that so much is being pushed, is becoming very prevalent. Drugs, 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 drugs. And we're not tapping into the internal drugs that are on board. You have access. And if you're in stinking thinking, I invite you to try this week. Soca. Steel pan, it's a vibration. It's a happy type music. Some salsa is like that, definitely some Afrobeat. But I tell you, soca in particular, jumping up, winding your waist, relaxing your back, using your core. You don't need no instructions. It's intuitive. It's intuitive. Why do people come all from around the world to go to the Caribbean for carnival and to party? Right? Joy is literally a nutrient hormonally. If you want opioids, instead of jacking up your face with other kinds of expensive drugs, you could get a shot of your own internal drugs. Literally, it could be 15 minutes. Next thing, you're singing with your children or dancing around with your children or your partner, like mood shifters. It doesn't have to be religious, just my personal opinion, because sometimes there's so much guilt and shame. I mean, if that's your thing, do it. I've gone through my religious phases too. And there actually are some gospel songs that I like. However, for me, I will take the gospel lyrics and I will switch them to sing to the God that dwells within me as me. Whatever works for you, right? Because these habits, if they're rituals, we share them with our children and our partners. So if you can be responsible for your own mood, literally, joy, I think, is the most overlooked leverage nutrient. Look at this. I got a nice little sweat over here. It doesn't cost you anything. You're already paying for internet. So joy, right? And it has actions attached. I like things that have actions attached to them. That means you got to get into action. It's not just intellectual. Joy, movement, shaking your body, shaking things off, right? In my practice as a trainer and a nutrition consultant, I focus more on weight release more so than weight loss. People are coming, I got to lose this weight. I got to burn this fat. You're trying. That's a lot of stress. Weight release is more about alignment. Certain activities that allow you to your body knows what to do when you get out of the way, but the trying is struggle. The release is an exhale. So no, I'm not talking about the massages on the hair and the scalp. That's great. And I'm not talking about the shower meditation. That's great. I'm talking about joy, and joy is connected with movement. No movement equals stagnation. That equals your body like the pool of water, the watery channels in your body, your lymphatic system, and your blood is stagnant. And that usually that frame of mind will go with that stagnancy, eating foods that are very heavy and dense that make us stagnant. Food that doesn't have any water content. Either we've cooked it out, we've salted it out, fried it out, we burnt it out, and then we're expecting pretty skin and then paying lots of money for products. The most overlooked nutrient is joy. It's sustainable. And I recommend, if you could find something that's primal, that's not based on other people or religion, something that is just raw within you, right? Soca, to me, is one of the best ones. And I'll be sharing if folks are interested in some of the stuff that's on my playlist, because folks are always wondering what's on my playlist, because I can have a party, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Actually, that's how I initially got into shape, was years ago doing push-ups on my own, because I was figuring, okay, I got 15, 20 minutes. And I would just be hitting it and quitting it at a certain pace. I had a certain music on, usually house music or Afrobeat music. 15, 20 minutes, that's all I had before waking up my son, before I had him up. Food is ready, got my little workout in, got him on, run to work, get him off, get to work, do cardio, train clients. So usually by 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I have so much done. But first, I got a shot of sustainable leverage joy. There is nothing. I have never regretted a movement practice or a workout. I have never regretted a dance party. And I don't have to go get drunk. I don't even have to go to a club. So now you have access to all of this great music. So I hope that this is helpful. I hope you enjoy. I couldn't play too much on here because I don't want it to get shut down. Hey, greetings, Jaleesa. I am in love with joy. So I would love to hear, what do you do to elicit joy? And I would love to hear what is, in particular, if it's religious, fine, but I would love to hear if you have anything that is not religious, something that is just pure, unadulterated, that you can tap into, that you have access to immediately, that sparks joy, right? And I'd love to see, I'm curious as to whether or not it has like a pace or any kind of movement that's linked with it, right? And that you can do independently on your own. So now we've seen, as I've said for years, what if you can't get to the massage therapist? What if you can't get to the gym? What if you can't get to your favorite teacher? What if your internet is out? Then what you're going to do? So my policy has always been, I have my mat, I have my music, and a lot of time I could even move to no music. There's been times where I've lived towards the bush, and I would just get myself into a nice heated sweat, singing to myself, singing and counting out reps to myself, just with the sounds of nature or rain. And that's it, just me and sweat. So the movement, music, vigorous, joyous movement, joy, nutrient over here. It is a nutrient. I would even say, I'm gonna call it a food group, a nutrient group, just like bitters over here is a food group. So on that note, I'm inviting you all to create a great day. You're welcome to comment always respectfully in the comment section. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know how your radical acceptance, self-acceptance is going, and how your hair is growing if you've decided to leave it alone, right? And as long as you're respectful, I could give two pooty pits if you are, whatever your package is, your color. You know, I'm more concerned with behavior. And if you're coming to share some information, something positive, something about growing food, or some joy, your grandma's from Poland, from Japan, I don't care. Bring positive energy, because this is not the time to be thinking in terms of limitation. Obviously, I'm Afro flower, but I told y'all, I farm with some girls over in China. They don't even know they my friends. Japan, Portugal, I don't care. I'm not interested in all of that divisiveness. Not my thing. I already know who I am. Create a great day on purpose. And see you soon.